Welcome back, Royal Sussex squad. You already know what time it is. Another day, another meltdown from people who just can't stand to see Harry and Meghan living free, loved and unbothered. And what set them off this time? Baseball caps. Yes, hats. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex dared to attend Game 4 of the World Series, sitting in the LA Dodgers owner's box, wearing their Dodgers caps. And you'd think the world had ended from the reaction that followed. Right-wing Canadians and royal-obsessed tabloids had an absolute fit. They were out here typing with trembling fingers, asking, why is Prince Harry rooting for an American team? Isn't his father the King of Canada? As if the man doesn't have the right to watch a game with his wife in their own hometown. They made it sound like Harry had declared war on maple syrup. The hysteria was ridiculous, but honestly it was also hilarious. Because after all their noise, it turns out that Prince Harry is actually a Toronto Blue Jays fan. That's right, he's been a Blue Jays fan all along. Let that sink in. The same people who spent days accusing him of betrayal, of being un-Canadian, just found out that he's been quietly cheering for the Blue Jays behind the scenes. And the way this revelation came out makes it even funnier. Meghan, as usual, handled the whole situation with her signature blend of grace and humour. She posted a short video where she, their friend Kelly Zyphon and Harry were watching Game 7. Meghan and Kelly were on one side, living their best lives, celebrating the Dodgers' win. And then there was Harry, sitting there, clearly unimpressed, quietly grumpy, like a man whose team just didn't make it. That little clip said more than 1,000 tabloid articles ever could. Harry was being a good sport at the earlier game, literally. He wore the Dodgers cap, because they were sitting in the owner's box. It was polite, respectful, and perfectly in character for someone who understands how to blend in and be gracious. Meghan probably handed him the cap and said, "Babe, we're in LA. Put it on." And he did what any loving husband would do. But when the final game came around and the Dodgers won, his Blue Jays heart couldn't hide. Meghan was up dancing, cheering, enjoying the win, and Harry just sat there like, "Y'all have your fun, but I know where my loyalty lies." The internet loved it. The clip went viral. Even people who don't follow baseball were laughing, saying how cute and real that moment was. It showed Harry and Meghan as what they truly are. Two people living a normal, joyful, relatable life. No stiff posturing, no performative smiles for cameras they don't control. Just real emotion, real fun, and real love. Of course, the haters tried to twist it, as they always do. They ran with fake narratives like, Harry looks miserable with Meghan again, or Harry forced to wear Dodgers hat against his will. Give me a break. The man was just watching a game. Not every facial expression is a cry for help, and not every moment has to be spun into tabloid drama. That's the difference between real life and royal PR fiction. Harry and Meghan's happiness is so natural that even their smallest moments turn into headlines. Let's talk about why this moment struck such a nerve. Because underneath the noise, there's something deeper. Harry and Meghan represent freedom, and that's what bothers their detractors most. Seeing Harry in a baseball cap, cheering or sulking like any regular guy, reminds the world that he's not trapped anymore. He's not behind palace gates being told what he can or can't wear, who he can or can't love. He's living his life as he chooses, whether that's wearing a Dodgers hat in LA or quietly rooting for the Blue Jays because it reminds him of where his story with Meghan began. And that's what a lot of people forget. Toronto isn't just a city for Harry. It's where he and Meghan's love story took shape. It's where they met, where Meghan was filming Suits, and where they had those precious private early days, away from the glare of the British tabloids. Toronto was their bubble of peace, their sanctuary. So it makes perfect sense that Harry has a soft spot for a Toronto team. It's nostalgia, it's emotional, it's romantic. When Meghan teased him in that video, it wasn't just playful sports banter. It was a callback to where it all began. Meanwhile, you have UK tabloids acting like a baseball cap is an act of treason. Imagine being that miserable that you can't stand to see someone happy at a game. They've gone from pretending to care about duty and tradition to writing entire essays about who Harry cheers for. That's how desperate the royal press has become. They're digging for outrage wherever they can find it, and when they can't, they just invent it. But Meghan and Harry don't even have to respond anymore. Their actions speak louder than any palace press release ever could. Meghan's Instagram story, that light-hearted clip, completely flipped the script. What was supposed to be a scandal turned into something adorable and human. Harry's little sulk became a viral meme. Meghan's joy became infectious, and the so-called controversy melted into laughter. That's the power they hold. They can take a smear campaign and turn it into a moment of connection with millions of people. And let's be honest, Meghan looked incredible at that game. Effortless, relaxed, stylish. She was glowing, and you could tell she was in her element. LA is her home turf, her community, and it shows. She's surrounded by friends who genuinely care for her, not palace courtiers waiting to leak stories. She's the same woman who went from Hollywood to royalty and then built her own brand of independence. She embodies what it means to create your own lane. And Harry, you can see how at peace he is in her world. He's not stiff or awkward. He's relaxed. He laughs more. He moves with ease. You can tell this is the life he always wanted, one where he's not constantly performing. And that's why the British tabloids stay pressed. Because the image they tried to sell, that Harry would be lost without the palace, turned out to be a lie. He's more grounded, more genuine, and more fulfilled than ever. Even the Canadian reaction to this Blue Jays revelation was mixed in the funniest way. Real Blue Jays fans thought it was endearing. They weren't angry, they were amused. They said things like, "He's one of us," or, "Of course, he's a Jays fan, he met Meghan here." The only people who had a problem with it were the usual right-wing commentators who will find fault in the Sussexes no matter what. These are the same voices who were silent when actual royal scandals broke out, yet they'll write 1,000 words about Harry wearing the wrong hat. You know what that tells us? It tells us that Harry and Meghan are still the most relevant members of the royal family, even when they're just watching sports. Think about it. Prince William can stand on a stage, give a speech, and no one blinks. But Harry goes to a baseball game and the entire internet lights up. That's power. That's star quality. And let's not ignore the symbolism here. Baseball, America's pastime, represents choice, freedom, and individuality. So when Harry shows up, smiling next to his wife at a Dodgers game, he's not just a spectator. He's living proof that breaking away from a system that tried to crush your spirit doesn't mean losing your identity. It means reclaiming it. Every time Meghan and Harry appear in public, the press tries to find some flaw. But what they keep missing is that the Sussexes don't need their approval. They've built a global audience that loves them for their authenticity. Whether they're at Invictus, on a podcast, or just cheering at a baseball game, they radiate the same message. You can choose peace, you can choose love. You can choose to walk away from toxicity and still win. That's why this story matters more than just baseball. It's not about the Dodgers or the Blue Jays. It's about the symbolism of freedom, loyalty and love, things that the old guard in Britain still struggles to understand. Harry didn't lose his roots by moving to America. He found his wings. And Meghan, she's the reason those wings took flight. Because every time the press tries to drag her down, she responds with joy. She laughs, she dances, she posts something simple that speaks volumes. That's how you handle hate, not with bitterness, but with brilliance. She's teaching an entire generation that elegance and resilience are the best revenge. So, yes, Harry's a Blue Jays fan. Meghan's a Dodgers girl. And together they're a team stronger than anything the tabloids could ever tear down. While the haters spend their days counting Meghan's smiles and dissecting Harry's caps, the Sussexes are building an empire. They're raising two beautiful kids, running successful foundations, and making global impact. And still they manage to have fun, because they understand that joy is revolutionary. So to every person who tried to spin a love of baseball into a scandal, congratulations, you just gave us another reason to laugh. Because once again, Harry and Meghan turned something ordinary into something extraordinary. And that's why we're here, the Royal Sussex Squad. Because we see through the lies, we celebrate the truth, and we refuse to let bitterness win. Actually, Prince Harry was a Toronto Blue Jays fan this whole time. Last week, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex attended Game 4 of the World Series. They sat in the LA Dodgers owner's box, and both Harry and Meghan wore their Dodgers baseball caps. Right-wing Canadians and Toronto Blue Jays fans were appalled. Why is Prince Harry rooting for the LA team when his father is King of Canada? Right-wing Canadians were throwing hissy fits about those Dodger caps for several days. Well, I think this makes it even funnier. As it turns out, Harry actually is a Blue Jays fan. He just wore the Dodgers cap because they were sitting in the owner's box, and I would assume Meghan forced him to wear it. How do we know Harry was a secret Blue Jay fan this whole time? Because Meghan posted a video where she, Kelly Zyphon and Harry are watching Game 7, and Harry was depressed that the Dodgers won. Harry and Meghan celebrating the Dodgers World Series win with Kelly Zyphon, Meghan's IG story, pic.twitter.com, J11WGHU5K, Montecito Royals, the House of Sussex, November 2nd, 2025. I love everything about this video and Kelly's message. The fact that the Dodgers fans, Meghan and Kelly, are on one side, while the Blue Jays fans, Harry and Poola, are on the other side. The fact that Meghan can't even sit beside Harry during Game 7. Meghan dancing when the Dodgers won, Harry grumpy and staying seated. It's just cute. Nike released a great Addy video for the Dodgers World Series win. They used Kendrick Lamar's Squabble Up. A missed opportunity to use Dodger Blue, right? You can't write this stuff, but LA just did again. pic.twitter.com PCM8FIJACE9 Nike, Pure Nike, November 2nd, 2025. So if you love seeing Harry and Meghan living free, laughing loud and loving life, make sure you're subscribed. Drop a like, share the video and hit that super thanks button to keep this channel thriving. Let's keep amplifying their truth, countering the noise and reminding the world that love always wins, no matter what the haters say. Because at the end of the day, Harry and Meghan's happiness is the story. Their laughter is the headline. And their love, that's the legacy. Long live the Sussexes, long live the squad.